So here's the other part that was crazy. Maybe a little gross, but there is truth in it. There's parallel truth in it. So when the adults swim upstream and they make it and they reproduce and the babies and the eggs, whatever's born, you know the adults die off, right? Now the babies, the eggs, whatever. Again, if I'm using the wrong terms, but you know what I'm trying to say. They have a coating on their throat which serves as nutrients until they get bigger. But they also, again, it may be a little gross, but there's some truth in it. They're also able to feed off of the bodies of the adults that their parents basically. Once they die off, their bodies are actually food for the new baby, the new generation, the next generation. One of the things that has been very strong on my mind is the legacy. So I asked you the same question. What are you leaving behind? What are you leaving behind? Though it may seem gross, but there's some actual truths in this, because these parents, these adult fish, these adult salmon, they go through the process, right? It ain't an easy feat swimming upstream, but they go through it. They endure that process, knowing that at the end of this process, knowing, number one, I got what it takes to do it. Number two, if I'm going to reproduce something positive, something great, something strong, then I got to go up to a place where it's conducive for me to birth that. And I'll take this journey to do it. And then they leave something behind. They leave their legacy, themselves behind, and their offspring or the next generation can feed off of that, can ingest that, and then now become strong enough to go down. Now they can handle being in the busy city life downstream where everything's buzzing around and all, and they got their immune system is built up. Their body is stronger and bigger. They can handle it now. Why? Because they were able to get what they needed from the previous generation. That speaks volumes if you think about it. Because our lives are not just for us. It's for our children and our children's children. And whether you have any children or not, there's a next generation that's coming behind us. So the question becomes, what are we leaving? Are we leaving a spirit of determination, of stick-to-itiveness, of pursuit? You know what I'm saying? Are we leaving that? Or are we leaving status quo, laziness, go with the flow? Are we leaving that behind? What are we leaving? How will they grow and be strong enough to repeat the cycle if we don't leave something for them, if we're not willing to endure the process that we're already built for? We're built for. You just have to trust that. That was powerful. I thought it was really great and a really good thought to think about for ourselves, So I said a lot. But my point is, swim upstream, baby, swim. Don't be afraid to swim upstream because you are made for that journey. If you really want to produce, you want to give birth to that dream or those dreams, man, you got to go upstream. You got to ascend. You got to go higher. You got to go to a higher place where it's conducive for growth, where it's conducive for reproduction, where the waters are calmer, where there's less pollution, where the water is cleaner. That's where you gotta go. And it's not something anyone is, woo-woo, let's go against the grain, let's stand out. Nobody's running for that. But the encouraging part of that is, as you follow, and it's so interesting, they follow, there's a scent of their origin, there's a scent of their place of birth that they're drawn to. There's a place that each one of us is drawn to, a place, a thing, a place, not a physical place per se, but a place internally that you're drawn to. And I believe that that's the place and that's the thing that God breathed into us from the beginning. And we're drawn to that. Sometimes that's a scary place when you start seeing that or sensing that, or starts to pull you in that direction. Some of us may have to take a leap of faith, or go to a place. Yes, it is a great spiritual place. A leap of faith. Maybe it's a physical change in your environment. I can't speak for you, but whatever is resonating with you, let it resonate with you. This is the encouraging part. Even though it's not the popular thing to do, to stand up for what you know is right, or to have a conviction and dare speak that conviction, or to make a decision for your family that may be different than what your family is saying you should do for your family. It takes a little extra oomph, right? But this is the encouraging part. You were made for it. You have what it takes. Like the coach or the trainer, again, I'm not a boxer, coach, trainer. I think there's two different people in the corner. So as the trainer may be saying to the boxer, you've prepared for this moment. You've prepared for this process. You got what it takes. Now, sometimes we got the little voice in our head saying, yo, that's a serious incline. I ain't really down with all that. Or, yo, you ain't got the strength for that. Or, yo, you do that, you're going to be by yourself. You ain't used to be by yourself. You got all these voices. But this is the encouraging part. Your body, well, metaphorically, your body is built for that journey. You're built for it. Built for it. So don't be afraid. Follow the sin of your birth, your origin. Go to that place where your heart is drawn to, what God intended for you, what God breathed into you from the beginnings. And think about what you're leaving for the generations behind you. At least this is this thing that I've said to myself. I'm at least gonna try. Because I think it's worse to say, yeah, I just didn't do it because it was gonna be hard, so I just decided not to do it, versus, well, I know it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try. And you won't be able to say that she never tried. And I believe because I'm built for it, my try will have outcomes that are beneficial. And I think the same for each and every one of you. I'm hoping to leave with you for this coaching session. The trainer in the corner of the boxing ring telling you, you were built for this. You have been trained for this. Every moment of your life has been leading up to this moment. And there's nothing that really can deter you from making it upstream but you. So that's the point of today's coaching. Swim upstream, baby. Swim, because guess what? On the other side of this, meaning is downstream, the process in the middle, and upstream, on the upside, is this place that's made strictly for your success. On the other side of this is success. And success looks differently for different people. I'm not just talking about fine cars and money, though that would be nice. I'm not talking about that only. I'm talking about the breakthrough that some of us really, really are trying to get to in our life. That's why we keep being drawn to it, right? But on the other side of that, number one, is the win. Is the dream being actualized? Is the reproduction? These babies, you're going to be able to reproduce, right? Good stuff. And I'm also here to tell you, I'm the coach in the corner of the boxing ring to tell you were trained for it. I'm also here to tell you that, hey, you're built for it. You can do it. You're made for this. All right. And then lastly, you're going to leave a legacy. You're going to leave something for the next generation to build on. Love it, love it, love it. So you could take this with you. This is a life coaching lesson, and even thinking about it on a micro level, as you go into your work week or to your week, whatever your week entails. Some of us may be retired and we have a different kind of work week. Whatever your week entails, Remember that. Remember, you're built for it. So no matter what comes your way, no matter what vicissitudes you may encounter, you're built for it. And you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Now, on the real, here's the part that I would be remiss to leave out. That we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Because on the real, now in and of myself, by myself, yeah, no. I don't want you to walk away thinking I'm saying in isolation I can do it. But through Christ, all things are possible. I can do all things. I can do all things. And then here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. What that entails is all of what that entails. When I say in Christ, there's nothing impossible. I could do all things. What that also entails is not just me being connected, you being connected, me being connected to the source, but also being open to the resources that God gives us. Because everybody ain't gonna swim upstream with you. Some of your close friends and your family not gonna swim upstream with you. And I know we want them to, and we can try to embrace that, but they're not gonna swim upstream with you all the time. But sometimes he brings other resources in our life. And if we're not open, we can sabotage our own process. He brings us help. Now, I'm not trying to pretend like this upstream process is gonna be easy. You're going to need some resources. And that's what in Christ means. Because as I'm in him, he provides all that I need for the process. Including the stranger that comes alongside the way. Remember the cat that came alongside Jesus when he was carrying the cross to help him? Remember that? For those who know, read the Bible. He'll bring people into your life. He'll bring situations to help you in the upstream process. So be clear, I'm not remotely trying to say I am a one-hit wonder in and of myself by myself. There is other factors, and in Christ I can do all things. In Christ you can do all things. He is the source, and he provides resources for the process.